Okay, so you want to make a circle motif or a granny square, or you want to make cute little pumpkins, but you're not sure how to get that circle piece going. Let me go ahead and show you 3 methods on how to get started when you are working in the round. Okay, now the first one is going to be the common one called the magic loop, the sliding loop, or the magic ring. This is the one I think is most commonly used for amigurumi. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve that sliding ring. Um, and usually a pattern will tell you which one to use, and sometimes it'll make a difference and sometimes it won't. But let me go ahead and show you the magic ring. I'm going to go ahead and put timestamps in the bottom for each of these 3 methods, okay, so that you can skip ahead or stay on the one that interests you the most. But I recommend you try all 3 methods and see which one works best for you, especially if the pattern says use any one that you choose. So to make the magic loop, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the tail of the yarn and we're going to put it in the front. And the working yarn is going to be in the back. And this is how I do it. Other people do it different ways, okay? And I'm going to take the working loop, the working part of the yarn, and I'm going to cross it over my fingers. You see how I have an X now? I'm holding onto the tail with my thumb and I cross the fingers like this. Then I'm going to turn it. And now it looks like I have 2 loops on my finger. I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it underneath that first loop. I'm going to take my hook upside down. You see how the hook part is down? And I'm going to grab onto that yarn that's closest to my knuckle here. And I'm going to pull it through. See, I'm pulling it through. Now I'm turning my fingers around back up again. And my hook is now on the top. This is my tail and this is my working yarn. And so now I have a loop. You see, I have a loop in there, and then I have like, it looks like I have like 2 pieces of yarn twisted upon each other here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a chain. Usually they'll tell you to do that to lock it in. And now I have a magic loop or sliding loop. And then you're going to go ahead and work your stitches into this circle right here. So let me demonstrate. I'm going to go ahead and make a single crochet right into that circle. Okay. So if you're making a flat loop, usually you're going to make 6 single crochets in this loop here. If you're making a double, I think it's 12. Okay, but that's for another video. Okay, and once you have the designated number, however the number the pattern says or however you feel you want to do it, once you have completed the number of stitches that you want in your circle, in your loop, you're going to take the tail and you are just going to pull it shut. That's all you have to do. And then depending on what the pattern says, you are either going to slip stitch this or continue crocheting in the round. And that's a magic loop or sliding loop because you are able to close off the circle by pulling on this tail here. So that's method 1. Okay, so that is method 1. Again, it's called the magic loop, the sliding loop, the magic ring. And the way I did it is not the only way to get started. I think there's a few other ways, but that's the way that I'm most comfortable doing it. Let me go ahead and show you the second method. So I'm going to pull this out. I want you to see how easy it is to pull crochet out. So the second method is made with a chain 2, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the slip knot. So let's take a look and see how to make a slip knot. So to make the slip knot, again, I'm just going to wrap my finger, or I'm going to wrap the yarn around my finger, insert my hook, pretty much the same way I made the sliding loop, and then I'm just going to pull it tight. So that's my slip knot. Again, that's not the only way to make a slip knot. There are other ways, and I'll go ahead and put a video in the description. I think I make it in another way in another video. Okay, so now I have a slip knot, and you're going to go ahead and just chain 2. So in order to chain 2, you yarn over, pull it through that loop, and yarn over and pull it through the loop. Okay, if you need instructions on how to make the chain, again, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description. And then what you're going to do is, so now you have a chain 2, and you're going to go ahead and make all your stitches into this loop right here. Not the first one, but the second one away from the hook. This is not a method that I use. I don't think I've ever used it, or if I have, it was long ago in a galaxy far, far away. But this is a method that many people do use, and they're very comfortable, and it works just fine. Let me go ahead and demonstrate. Let me go ahead and make some double crochets in here. So I'm going to go ahead and right here in the second one away from the hook, I'm going to make 1 double crochet. In the same hole, 2 double crochets. Well, it looks like I made a single. Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back and do that again. And I'm going to make a second double crochet in that hole, in that chain space. And 3. And you can see that this hole is getting bigger and bigger and bigger to accommodate the stitches. So this is a very simple method. Again, this is a very popular method, an easy way to accomplish that. You see how the hole is getting bigger, okay? So it will accommodate the stitches. I don't know what happens. I don't know how many stitches you can actually put in here, but it will accommodate the stitches quite nicely. But see, the thing is that you won't be able to close up the hole, all right? But again, many people don't have a problem with that. Usually the hole will open up again anyway. When you're doing a granny square, it's a look. But go ahead and try this method if you like. Remember, it's just a chain 2, and then put all your stitches in the second chain from the hook. All right. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out because I want you to see how simple this is to pull out. And let's go ahead and do the third method. The third method is the one that I used when I first started crocheting. And all it is, again, you go ahead, here's another way. Here's another way that I make a slip knot. Okay, I made a slip knot, and all it is a chain 3 or chain 4, depending on how many stitches you are going to put into the loop. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and chain 4. I'm going to chain 4. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if the pattern wants you to use this method, they will tell you how many chains to make. It's usually a chain 3 or a chain 4. So I've got a chain 4, and I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it into that first stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch it closed. Sometimes they might ask you to make a larger chain if you're going to be putting a lot of stitches in here. Now you have this little thing here. Okay, now you have like a circle or a loop. So then what you have to do is you have to find the center of this loop. Let me go ahead and get a little bit closer. Okay, so after you make that loop, you're going to have to go ahead and find the center of that loop. So this was really hard for me when I started. So here's the center. You see I have my crochet hook in there. When you make your stitches, make sure that you put it in the center loop. not in the side stitches. So what I like to do is what I just did is I put a crochet hook in there, and it kind of loosened up that circle, so I'm able to see that my stitches go in here. And then you go ahead and you put your stitches in here. I'm going to chain one because I'm going to do single crochets, and I'm going to put my single crochet in that loop. Okay, be careful using this method. Usually once you do the first one, you're able to do all the other ones. Just make sure that you see that hole. A common mistake is that people will accidentally start making their stitches in one of the chains. Do not do that. Try using, I'll go ahead and do it again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few more single crochets in here so that you can see, and do the number of stitches that they recommend. You can do single, double, half double, whatever the pattern tells you to do. And you see, the more stitches you put in here, the easier that center will be able, you'll be able to see it a lot better. It's just that first stitch, maybe the second one, that's a little bit hard to see. And there you have it, okay? But once again, you cannot close that circle up. The only one that you can close up would be the magic ring. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one more time how to get that, how you're able to see that center. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and like so that you can get access to more videos that I make. But and don't forget to share, okay? Because lots of people want to learn how to make, they want an alternative for how to start making those circles, right? Some people do the magic loop, they want to learn another method. Some people do the chain loop, they want to learn the magic loop. So go ahead and share this. I'm going to do that one more time with you, okay? Go ahead and you're going to chain 1, 2, try and chain loosely, 3, 4, okay? And then you're going to slip stitch it closed. And then you can use another hook or this one. Before I do the stitch, I'm going to put my hook in there, and I'm going to put it up to, I have this thicker part here, and I'm just going to put it in there just to make that hole a little bit more visible for my first stitch. There it goes. You see it? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make double crochets in there. Usually after the first stitch, the hole becomes a lot more visible. So I'm going to do my double crochet. I'm going to make another double crochet. Okay. And then now you should be able to see the hole. Okay. So just be careful of this method. Make sure that you always put it inside the hole, inside the center. Another way to make sure that you always get it into the center, you can try this trick, is to just put a stitch marker in the center around the stitches. Sorry. Just put a stitch marker around the stitches, and if you're having trouble, just give the stitch marker a little tug, and then you can see the center. Now, pros and cons. This is the easiest method to get started with, but it is very difficult to find the center. The sliding loop is a little bit more difficult to get started with, but once you get it started, it's really easy to see the center, and you can close up your loops. Now, the second method with just using the chain 2, I guess it's somewhere in the middle, right? It's not very difficult. It's actually kind of easy, but you can't close up the loop. My recommendation, again, is go ahead and try all 3 methods, see which one you're more comfortable with, and unless the pattern specifies which one to use your favorite method, okay? All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. And if you want to see more videos on how to make things, like how to make the stitches, or what can you do once you've made the magic loop, you can make something in a circle now. So go ahead and check out one of these videos and get started making something in a circular motif. Te veo.